It's going to be 15 games for you guys in December, starting tonight against the Sens. As a D-man who had a lot of minutes, how do you guys going to manage practice time, game time, ice time, rest?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why you train in the summer, right? But I feel like in those stretches you don't get a lot of practice time, so it's important on the days where you're not practicing, or make sure you're getting your rest, taking care of your body, preparing for the next game. But definitely a lot of hockey in a short period of time, but you go one game at a time, and that's all you can do.
Still, you're going to be playing back-to-backs on every weekend until Christmas in two different cities each time. That's going to be, tough physically.
Yeah, I think honestly, like physically, the back-to-backs, I think sometimes I feel like everyone in the league's in great shape. Whether you're traveling or not, you feel ready to go. It's just mentally, you got to make sure you're sharp. But yeah, I feel like if you look around the league, a lot of teams are kind of in the same boat. It's just the way it is with the long break for the Olympics. But I think you go one game at a time, focus on that, and control what you can control.
Coming here, you knew the rivalries that the Canadiens, traditional rivalries that they have, but Ottawa's kind of an interesting rivalry that's developing. What's your taste of it been so far?
Yeah, I think my first taste was watching the game in Quebec City. But it's not surprising. Two divisional opponents, both have great young teams. Both teams made playoffs last year and took steps forward. And the division's so tight, so any games versus divisional opponents, there's lots of energy, high intensity, and expect nothing less tonight.
Yesterday Marty took the responsibility for the preparation of the team in Denver. Spoke about the fact that what he asked you to do in the neutral zone, especially, was not the things that you guys should do, probably. How do you guys react when your head coach took a part of responsibility in a game like Denver?
Yeah, I think as a group here, we're an honest group, accountable group. We know as players, sometimes coaches systemically will say they could have done things differently, but at the end of the day, it's on us as players as well to execute. We got to do a better job managing pucks through the neutral zone. Just little details in our game, stuff like that's on players to be accountable. But I think as a group from the start, Marty's always preached to be honest and hold everyone accountable, players, coaches. So as a group, it brings you together, and we all know that we can be better in each one of our areas, and go from there.
Is this something that you voiced here, like knowing that?
Change has made for you. You really seem to be carrying the puck a lot more, very noticeable.
Yeah, for sure. I carry a puck a lot more, and I obviously like that. Who doesn't like to play with the puck, obviously, and just playing in a little different role, And I think I like it. I like it so far. I like how we're playing. Obviously, we can be even a little better in the D zone, and that will create more ozone time for us.
Tell me a bit about chemistry that you might be developing with Ivan.
I think it's good, Like we got Susie and Cole, two righties, when we got me and Demi, two lefties, just reading off each other. I think it could be something special for sure if we keep playing good together.
You go up against the Senators. It's kind of an interesting rivalry that's developed here with them. What's your feeling about them when you go up against them?
I think it's always a physical, hard game, and we're always excited to play them. Cities are pretty close. It's going to be a hard match, and yeah, we can't wait.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
For a big guy, he just moves so well. He's got really good hands, and he's always in the right spot. So it's hard to cover him, and then going up against him when he's defending, he's strong, powerful, good stick, and good IQ.
For you, what does it mean to have Mike Matheson here for 5 more years?
Yeah, from the start when I came here, getting to know him and him really kind of showing me how things work, it was great, and he still does it too. But to have him, to know we're going to have him for that long, it's special, and I'm really excited.
Does it amaze you the amount of lifetime he's able to log at a little bit older than you are?
I'm not surprised. I mean, he takes care of himself. Such a good player, so smart, really good skater too.
How can you describe the impact that a signing like that has on the team?
Yeah, when he kind of makes that decision that he wants to be here with us, it means a lot, and hopefully it attracts other guys to do the same, and we want to win here and we want to do it together, and for him to do that, it means a lot. Yeah.
I'm sorry if this has been asked, but Marty said he took accountability yesterday for the way that he prepared the team in Denver. He made himself responsible for that, the way that you guys lost. What does it say about him and his character when you hear him say something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's first off, we're a team. It's not just on Marty. There's a lot of things that didn't go right for us, and a lot of things to clean up. But for our leader to say that, and it kind of just helps us understand where he's coming from. In general, I guess I don't know how to answer that really.
What do you like most?
Did a good job.
Yeah.
What do you like most about Marty as a coach, though? It's impressive.
Yeah, he doesn't beat around the bush. He's pretty direct, and just sets standards high for us, and he's really passionate about it too.
I know last week at a practice, Marty had a long one-on-one with Mike Matheson at the chalkboard, sort of looking at different things, and I imagine he does that with other players, and he says he likes to get feedback from other guys. Does he do the same thing with you?
Yeah, and I think every guy in here has had a moment or so like that with Marty, where he wants to understand what we're seeing, and he kind of tells us what he's seeing too. So it's pretty valuable information coming from him.
When you look at December,
C'est des parties de saison qui ne sont pas les plus fun à passer à travers, mais ça fait partie de ça. Une saison, c'est rempli de hauts et de bas. Puis l'objectif de toujours, c'est de garder ces bas-là les moins longs possibles. Donc, non, je suis content d'avoir passé à travers ça. Puis maintenant, mon objectif, c'est d'amener de la constance soir après soir, puis d'amener mon meilleur match.
Dans ce match avec les Sens, est-ce que ça fait juste exister ou est-ce que vous en parlez entre vous?
Je pense qu'on n'a même pas besoin d'en parler. Je pense que tout le monde sait. On a pas mal la même trajectoire, si je peux dire. C'est une genre de jeune équipe qui est encore grandissante, mais qui est très bon dans le moment. Donc, je pense que c'est un peu je pense que, pour ma part, en fait, j'ai vraiment l'impression que c'est ça, que la rivalité. On sait que c'est des équipes qui vont être bonnes pendant de nombreuses années. Puis, on veut s'établir en tant qu'équipe qui est dominante. Donc, c'est des matchs comme ce soir qui font la différence, puis dans lesquels on veut le prouver.
Comment est-ce que la grande majorité de tes points ont été acquis sur la route? Tu le sais probablement, un des meilleurs producteurs de l'équipe sur la route. Au Centre Bell, je dirais, c'est un petit peu moins reluisant, disons. Comment t'expliques ça personnellement? Y a-t-il quelque chose qui change dans ta game? Puis, c'est quoi la différence entre un Zach productif et un Zach qui l'est moins? Parce qu'il y a quand même une bonne différence entre les deux Zach.
Je sais pas ce qui se passe à la maison, je sais pas. C'est cliché, mais pour ma part, je veux continuer à jouer de la bonne façon. Puis je suis pas inquiète que les choses vont venir aussi à la maison. Puis que ce soit ce soir, demain, ou je suis pas inquiète que ça va venir, ça s'en vient. Donc c'est juste, comme j'ai dit, je veux continuer à travailler, amener la meilleure version de moi-même à tous les soirs, que ce soit à la maison ou sur la route. Mais c'est sûr que la rondelle rentre un peu moins ici, mais je suis pas inquiète que les choses vont se replacer.
La loi de la moyenne.
Ouais, exactement.
How do you feel you're adjusting to joining the Canadiens so far?
It's good. Day after I felt better. Just getting used to the system, team, and teammates and everything. But I felt really good here.
You had your pick. You could have gone anywhere. You were basically a free agent. What was it about here that was appealing to you that made Montreal where you wanted to go?
I mean, yeah, I think I got a couple option, and Montreal was one of them, and I just said to my agent right away, let's go there. So that was pretty easy.
Sans tomber dans un cliché, porter ce maillot rouge-là ici à Montréal, sachant que Cristobal lui a fait la même chose il y a un certain temps déjà. Est-ce que dans ton cœur de joueur de hockey français, ça a une résonance particulière?
Non, c'est sûr. Je pense que juste avec toute l'histoire du club puis toutes les choses derrière ça, Christo qui a joué ici, puis le tout fait que ça reste c'est quelque chose de très spécial. Puis je pense pas avoir rêvé un jour de jouer pour les Canadiens. C'était tellement inaccessible que j'y pensais même pas. Mais du coup là, je suis là et puis j'essaie de prendre mes chances et toutes les opportunités possibles qu'on me donne. Donc je suis très, très heureux et puis surtout excité à jouer au hockey.
J'imagine que ça doit un peu s'attendre.
Yeah, I think obviously with the puck, like getting touches a little more, it's obviously good for your confidence. And yeah, obviously that's a big part of my game, the forecheck. So I think just continue to do that.
How do you feel about going up against the Senators with this rivalry that's developed with the Canadiens?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I just try to treat it like another game.
How would you rate or describe chemistry on your line right now?
On the ice?
Yeah, with your line.
I think it's pretty good. I mean, we've had a few games together now, so I think we've had some chances. We've been clicking a little bit, so yeah, I think it's been pretty good.
What is the biggest challenge for your line right now, in your opinion, to be the best version possible?
I mean, I think we just got to get it on the forecheck. I mean, I feel like if we have a good forecheck, we're going to be playing the offensive zone a lot more. So yeah, I think that's it.
Bon matin.
Bonjour. Est-ce que tu fais des changements ce soir?
Je sais pas, tout le monde fait le warm-up.
Quand c'est les sénateurs, est-ce que vous devez être plus physique parce que c'est eux, parce que la rivalité, est-ce qu'on s'attend à ça? Toi, l'entraîneur,
Je pense que la robustesse, ça se fait élever juste parce que la rivalité et tout. Là. Mais c'est pas comme. Faut que tu joues la game est en avant de toi. Tu sais. Mais c'est sûr que ça fait partie de ces matchs-là un petit peu. Je m'attends à ça.
Les avez-vous bien gérés, ces matchs-là, à ton évaluation depuis le début de l'année, quand ça s'est présenté?
Je pense que oui.
When you are taking on an opponent who prides themselves in a strong checking game, what do you want to see for your priorities in the defensive zone for your own team?
They're checking?
Yeah, like when they lead with their physicality in the offensive zone. Where do you want your
forecheck? Yeah, I mean, they do play, you know, they bring some heaviness and stuff for us. You just got to be, you have to be organized. If they're going to get first touch, then you got to be organized and arrive and be ready to defend. And if we're going to get first touch, then we got to be organized and breaking that pressure versus that forecheck, you know. To me, it's not one guy that can get it done, especially when we get first touch. It's all five guys have to be on the same page. And, you know, to me, we rely on our collective game to break that forecheck.
When you say everybody's taking warm-up, is Jaden Struble included in that?
Correct.
Okay.
I think so.
Brendan Gallagher has played a very important role in this team for many, many years. Just how can he elevate his importance to the team right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've lost a little bit of our identity in the last, like, you know, 3-4 games. I know we still got some results, but I feel like we've lost our identity and being on top of them a little bit. And I think that's going to help Galley's game a little bit. And I think we've talked about that, bring that back a little bit. And it's a little bit on the coaching, a little bit on the player, whatever. We identify that's something we have to get back to and just start more being on our toes. And I think when Galley's on his toes, I think he's able to bring his game. And I expect the conversation we had as a team that's going to help Galley's game.
Marty Slafkovsky said in the past that he'd like to play a little bit more like a Brady Tkachuk style of game. Brady, that sort of aggressive, it sort of comes naturally to him. On a player like Slav, maybe it doesn't come as naturally. Is that something they can learn to put into their game?
Yeah, I think you can learn anything. There's not one thing any human can't learn. You just got to be willing to put the time and effort, and I can see that Slav is doing that.
What part of the Tkachuk style game would you like to see Slav maybe pick up?
I mean, I don't necessarily pick up. I mean, you know, Brady plays with his, you know, with his body. Like he's got a good size, got good reach, and he can still make plays. And you know, so I would say that, you know, Slav's got to use his body. You know, and when he does that, he's at his best.
You said as a coach you need to be a bit of a salesman also. When you put him on that other line, Slav, did you talk with him before and sell it to him or explain to him why you were making the decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think we communicate that, you know, and I think at the time with the injury we had, I think that was a possibility. And our guys can play with anyone. I don't think our collective game changes, you know, but it has worked. So, you know, we're happy what we're seeing.
You just mentioned the rivalry and everything, and it's easy to have that, I don't want to call it a distraction, but have that sort of in the back of your mind that this game could go in many different directions. To what extent do you want your team to focus on what you just mentioned, getting back to your identity and all that stuff, and leave that stuff aside, or do you want that to fuel something in your team? How do you approach that?
I prepare the group, you know, the same way. I think they understand the history between the two teams. So expect physicality tonight, and, you know, it's going to be part of the game. I think it usually is against that team, and, you know, you got to toe that line and not necessarily be looking for it, but when, you know, you have opportunity, you know, you have to bring it. And, you know, but we can't just bring it to bring it and then spend the night in the box. You know, you got to be calculated, and you can't just go flying around out of position and expose the team just because you think the mandate has to be physicality. You know, you got to be. It's the NHL. Like you got to play the game. You got to bring some physicality.
You mentioned when you asked about Carey, and you mentioned maybe his plus minus can impact confidence, or when a player looks at that, especially a defensive-minded player. Do you think Jake Evans is looking at that?
I mean, I don't know if he is. You know, you can ask him that. I'm just historically, like, I feel those guys, you know, it's a stat that they take pride.
Where you needed to be?
I think as a group, I think our defensive game has lacked consistency, you know.
Anthony et Guillaume. Martin, Ivan Demidov est un des joueurs les plus productifs par rapport à son temps de jeu, mais tu as souvent dit que l'offensive c'était une chose. Quelles sont les autres cases qu'il doit cocher pour atteindre un autre niveau en termes de temps d'utilisation?
C'est continuer de faire ce qu'il fait. Puis je sais que je pourrais en donner plus, puis j'essaye. Des fois, c'est le contexte. Des fois, je sors de la game, je dis Colin, il a juste joué ça. T'sais. Puis je l'ai sur le banc aussi. Il faut que je fasse une meilleure job un petit peu pour en donner plus, ça c'est sûr. Mais je peux dire pas que c'est une chose qu'il faut qu'il fasse, mais il faut qu'il continue. Ça me convainc qu'il devrait en avoir plus. Puis jusqu'à maintenant, je te dirais qu'il devrait en avoir plus. Mais la vie n'est pas toujours fair. Fait qu'il faut qu'il continue ça.
Zachary Bolduc, sa production est assez différente à la maison, à l'extérieur. On y en a parlé ce matin, préférant en rire. Il dit ça va finir par rentrer. Est-ce que tu vois une différence, Zachary Bolduc, ici ou sur la route? Puis, en fait, qu'est-ce qui fait la différence entre un Zach productif et peut-être un gars moins efficace offensivement?
Bien, c'est sûr, c'est la confiance. Ça, c'est sûr, ça part avec ça, mais c'est pas juste de se parler dans le miroir, là, la confiance. T'sais, moi, je pense que c'est un effet domino. C'est où tu vas sur la glace, sans la rondelle, des deux bords, défensivement et offensivement. T'sais. Puis on parle beaucoup de... Ça peut être accéléré, ça peut être une décélération, ça peut être n'importe quoi. Mais quand tu es dans les bonnes places, la puck, elle te trouve. Puis quand la puck, elle te trouve plus, mais là, tu touches à la puck. Quand tu touches à la puck, plus ta confiance, elle monte. Quand ta confiance, elle monte, bien là, ta production, elle monte. C'est un effet domino. Fait que je te dirais, c'est un petit peu de ça. Puis je pense que Zach s'améliore. Comment qu'on joue en équipe avec et sans la rondelle. Puis je pense que tu vois qu'il commence à avoir plus de touches consécutives, chiffre après chiffre. Je pense que ça aide sa confiance, qui aide sa production.
Dernière question, Guillaume. J'allais justement là-dessus. Il y a 1 point en 12 matchs sur la route, puis 1 point en 12 matchs à Montréal, 11 en 12 sur la route. C'est juste une coïncidence statistique d'après toi?
Ben, je pense que oui. Je pense un petit peu aussi c'est le contexte. On a commencé sur la route, il y a eu un bon début, on a changé le power play, on était à la maison, ils jouaient sur une ligne différente, puis là, on l'a remis en haut, on est allé sur la route. Je pense que c'est un petit peu contexte. C'est pas quelque chose que... Je pense pas exact, c'est un différent joueur. Je pense qu'il y a un contexte attaché. Pourquoi il y a plus de points sur la route présentement qu'à la maison. Puis on espère qu'il va continuer ça, comment il joue présentement. On a beaucoup de matchs à la maison qui s'en viennent.
Merci, Martin.
OK, merci beaucoup.
Merci.